What was a huge trend that everyone has forgotten? Live strong bands. And every business and organization making their own version. Wow's up. Chillin'. Killin'. Juicy couture. When I was in high school it was common to see whole packs of girls wearing those velvet tracksuits, and then it just stopped. And the velvet purses. I was so jealous of the girls who had those. Harlem Shake. My coworker has been trying to get us on board to do the Harlem Shake during our awards ceremony. I'm so glad that plan didn't go through. I'm assuming they recently awoke from a coma they've been in since 2014. In New Zealand we had this company release a chocolate milk. People went ducking bonkers. It was in the news every day. People lined up outside grocery stores to get it. Mass shortages everywhere. About 2 weeks and it just stopped. The milk's still there. People just gave up on the craze seemingly overnight. It was weird. The milk is good. As good as chocolate milk can be, I guess. But yeah. Same thing in Australia over golden Kit Kats. I had people from the country message me to buy them a couple of boxes if I found them, because I worked in a Metro Woolies. It was made worse because they were limited edition. That was over 2 years ago, and they are still on the shelf. But the golden Kit Kats are really good though. Those Lisa Frank Trapper Keepers covered with brightly colored, ultra flamboyant, psychedelic fever dream inspired illustrations of dolphins, unicorns, rainbows, etc. They were so in your face that you pretty much had to respect them, no matter what your attitude towards that kind of art was. I remember a time when it seemed like virtually every girl in elementary school had one of them. Just had to Google these, because I'm not American and sweet baby Jesus you ain't wrong. It's like someone put a picture of a unicorn on the highest possible contrast setting and then did that 4 more times. At least in my region, everyone was huge into Gregorian chant for a couple months. I recently found one of those CDs when I was cleaning. Maybe early or mid 90s. There was a song released. Basically chants with beats and a bass line added that started it. You're thinking of Egnima Song Sadness Part 1. Silly bands. My entire arms were covered. Good times. Shit, that was about 10 years ago too, damn. Rainbow balloons. Oh my god. This was literally everywhere in my school. It just went. Didn't it? Cup stacking. There were tournaments. How did it ever get that far? Party rock anthem. I want an acoustic version of Park Rock Anthem played at my funeral, and I keep telling them, but my family doesn't take me seriously. Tamagotchi. I still got the recent Tamagotchi on, but its novelty isn't the same as it used to be. Pretty nifty keychain though. Planking. Oh, I forgot about that. My mom almost ran a dumb kid over. 10 PM in a dark movie theater parking lot away from the street lights. Kid was playing speed bump instead. Do people still have those skateboarding fingerboards? Link. Tech decks. We called them Scoobies. Don't know what they were called elsewhere. Those little rubber strings that you could wind plait in different patterns to make one big cord. Then you give them to your parents to hang on their keys, and that was their only real purpose. Yes, I remember those. I used to make square ones. Round ones. Ended up buying a book to make different shapes like hearts, helicopters and covers for pens, pencils. Flash mobs. One of my favorite ways to waste time is looking up really old flash mobs. Not even necessarily big or famous flash mobs, but ones from really early on. The astonishment on spectators' faces is priceless. I think one of my favorites is Antwerp Central Station to do Army from The Sound of Music, and it's so great because the mob was deep planted within the station audience, reacting with shock and awe for almost all the way through the song, and then suddenly busting perfectly into the choreographed moves because they were in on it all along. Love it. Link. My absolute favorite is this one of the Hallelujah chorus at a food court. Link. www.youtube.com watch VSXH7JR9OKVE. I think all the element came together perfectly. It was Christmas, so everyone was in a good mood. The people performing had amazing talent, and it was early enough that people weren't sick of it yet. Do it for the Vine. Vine compilations were legit entertainment on YouTube. Vines that butter my croissant. Rare vines that stopped me from ending it all part 6. Vines that cured my depression part 20. Those Kanye West shutter shades that made no sense laughing my butt off. I was around when they became popular in the 80s. See Macho Man Randy Savage. Our obsession with mustaches to the point where we'd get mustache tats our fingers. LOL. Remember when girls cared about Taylor Lautner? It seems like he got that sweet Twilight money and peaced out. Kinda crazy to think that he's essentially retired and he's not even 30 yet. It's kind of the opposite. They tried to make him a movie star, but he was wooden, so he flopped. He's less retired than he has failed. True. He now spends his time grazing on grass throughout the Andes Mountains of Peru and Ecuador. Ed Hardy clothes. In my mind, this is the beginning of a series of ostentatious clothing evolving over time. Ed Hardy affliction, some brand I can't remember. American Fighter. Don't forget Tap Out. Only worn by the douchiest of doucher bags. Ice Bucket Challenge. And pretty much every subsequent challenge that tried to take off. At least a lot of good came from the Ice Bucket Challenge. I don't recall any of the others faring well. Cinnamon Challenge was the only other one that I remember getting some ground. But A, it wasn't for any cause, and B, it was stupid and dangerous. Cupcake Baker is popping up everywhere about 15 years ago. Chokers in the 90s, and then they were popular again about 7 years ago. Scrapbooking and cricket machines. Diamond grills on your teeth. Scaring your cat with a cucumber and recording it. Fidget spinners laughing my butt off. Yep. Water bottle flipping. Necking unfortunate victims. 2016 and 2017 time period. Scary clowns too. But I couldn't experience it for myself, as I moved out of the area before I could. Because my parents wanted to move to Florida. Apartment neighborhood with no trick or treating. Not specifically for the scary clown event though. Scary clowns abruptly ended in South Carolina after one of them got shot by a redneck, which I suppose was inevitable. Those pictures you had to stare at to see what was in them. Someone posted a magic eye on Reddit a few weeks ago and it actually works in phone form too. I felt very good about myself. I play Pokemon Go everyday kid. Having images on clothes was cool. Ducking mustaches and owls on everything. Galaxy print on clothes. 2014. That dress, was it blue, black or white gold? Laurel. Cabbage Patch dolls and Garbage Pail Kids. Using nicknames on text messages. Still miss seeing stuff like Scrazzy 4 Bows XX on the bottom of my messages. Yo-yos. Showing my age. Also, yo-yo demonstration teams that toured around primary schools. Usually sponsored by Coke. Gangnam Style. You know, I was listening to a bunch of popular R&B from around that time on it, and it came up as a suggestion. I have no particularly fond memories of the song, but free of the hype and the oversaturation. It's a ducking banger. It deserved its success. How's no one talking about slap bracelets? Thin scarves you wore indoors. The infinity scarves were everywhere. Everyone wearing their jeans really low. Like Solo, you could see the boxers they were wearing. In the UK. In 2010. The Mannequin Challenge. Whip Nini. Hit the Juju on that beat. Pretty much all musical. Light trends. It's hard to believe that the kid who made the Whip Nini song is now in jail for murdering his cousin. Edit sorry for no source. I thought this was common knowledge. Link. Reminds me of when the peanut butter jelly time guy died in a police shootout. Wasn't that guy related to Snoop Dogg? That whole story feels like a fever dream. Yeah, I think they were cousins too. Dane Cook. Talking about what a shitty comedian Dane Cook is. When I was in middle school we had to do that stereotypical play different types of music for plants and see which one grows the best experiment. Well, I did the usual ones. Classical, metal, country, pop, rock, ECT. But to add an extra spin on it, I played nothing but Dane Cook skits for one of the plants. I came home from school one day and that specific plant had fallen off my shelf. All the others were fine. I recorded in my experiment notes that the Dane Cook plant committed suicide. The science teacher thought it was funny at least. Game of Thrones. Goddamn. Lots of shows have captured the nation's attention. But God was international and hit some amazing nerve. The fact it died so hard is a testament to how badly they ducked up the last season. I can't even imagine how much potential syndication revenue was basically torched by that last season. Free Hong Kong. Thinking about it, I haven't really heard much about Hong Kong in a while on here. During its peak on Reddit, it seemed like half the subs were declaring that they were standing with HK, and half the content on the PicVid subs was from the demonstrations there. Then the pandemic and craziness of 2020 happened. It's mostly because during last summer Beijing passed a national security law link which effectively subsumed Hong Kong under DPRC authority. The fight is pretty much over, and Hong Kong lost. Nothing to really champion for on Reddit anymore. It wasn't passed. China staged a coup during a legislative session. Link. Then further when they limited the number of directly elected legislators in Hong Kong. Link. The entire world watched it happen without even the prophesied whimper. Not strictly true. The UK offered all the majority of Hong Kong citizens UK citizenship. Connie 2012. Silly bands. Kilroy was here. Beanie Babies. Furbies. Though they got mentioned in that new Netflix film a bit ago. They were godly for a bit. I got a Furby for my birthday in '99. My dog had just had puppies and she took my Furby and put it with her puppies and would growl when I tried to get it back. Pogs. Pogs were so dope. I had an Oj Simpson's llama, and my most favorite Pog just had a tiny spoonful of peas on it, and the text "Give peas a chance." Good times. Bottle flips. Anyone else's school go through a phase where people would play the Kim Possible ringtone constantly? It wasn't even when Kim Possible was popular. It was just like a weird thing where people played it to annoy everyone. Mannequin challenge. Avatar. The Cameron movie. It was huge. Made billions of dollars and then just faded away. The only actor still working seemingly is Zoe Saldana. The male lead Worthington has completely disappeared. Just weird. Obsession with everything bacon. That was part of the quirky phase the internet went through a little over a decade ago. Epic bacon ninja pirates zombies. Just all of that shit. Mustaches on everything from upper lips tot shirts to finger tattoos. JNCO jeans. People were obsessed with bacon for a short time. What happened to that? Chronets. Second Life. The multi-user virtual world. I swear for a couple years there were daily articles about how it was taking over the world. Is it still even available? I'm thinking it's so forgotten you'll need a link. Oh my god, apparently it still exists link. Interesting Wikipedia entry link. Wearing Grolsch bottle caps on your shoelaces. Wearing VW badges around your neck. Wearing odd colored fluorescent leg warmers or socks. Wearing fingerless black lace gloves. Child of the 80s LOL. All those missing car badges. Thanks. Beastie Boys. Fidget spinners. Milky pens in the 90s. Tamagotchi 2. I sometimes wonder if I should log huge trends in a notebook every time a new one arises. I know I've lived through hundreds, but when I'm questioned about it, it's like only a couple come to mind. That thing from Malcolm in the Middle where you make a circle with your thumb and finger and hold it down low. And then if someone else looks at it, you get to punch them. Jerking was one of the most short-lived fads I have ever seen. It was around for like a single summer in 2009 for a handful of months, where everyone was wearing colorful skinny jeans and jerking. There were tons of YouTube videos and songs made with a bunch of views, and the whole dance popularity randomly stopped all at once. Link. Those light up belt buckles that allowed you to write things on them. They were like small billboards for words. LOL. Water bottle flip. creepy clowns that were popping up everywhere back in 2016. When a house phone rings, you run to answer it. There was nothing more important. You would spend good money on a machine to answer for you, and even that never worked well. Nowadays, landlines are fading fast, and we look at our cell phones and often don't bother to answer when we see who is calling. The coffin dance. The trend died overnight the moment the original performers became famous enough to appear on TV. iPods. Cinnamon challenge. Interchangeable with nutmeg at least in 2009, when I was in middle school. The Macarena. Spiked hair. Skateboarding. Chapets. Going to Blockbuster. The Sims. Discos. 10-disc CD changers. Phone chat rooms. Digipets. MySpace and saying bam when you season food.